Why would I ever try to hurt you? Honestly.
I don't know. That's for you to
I
answer, baby girl.
I just realized I forgot music. Hold.
That's all right.
No, I like having music.
I'll be your music. Boo-doo-doo.
Real? Real?
Yeah,
Wow, I would love if things would load. Let's see. Where is my playlist? Um.
I've been building new playlists. Do I need my character sheet? I'll keep it
You
out.
shouldn't need it.
Well, we'll see.
Let's see, where's the bot? Where's the bot?
Okay.
You're okay?
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Yo, I didn't take any damage that fight.
Yeah,
Kind of excessive, considering I didn't take any damage.
it is very impressive. Um,
Yeah.
but, uh, Esmond, uh,
Yeah.
we're we're coming to this moment as you kind of excuse yourself from the rest of the party. Uh, Walk back to your room, kind of. It may be, kind of filled with your own thoughts at the moment. What do you do as you return to your room to rest?
Um, sort of, he, the room doesn't have much furniture in it right now. Uh, but, he, like, can't sit down.
Mm-hmm.
So he just kind of tries to find something to occupy himself with. He goes through like all of his drawers and he tidies and he like he does too much with making the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Like folds the corners and tucks them in and like uh tries to take some books out of boxes and put them away and uh just sort of mechanically just steps into the room and starts doing things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very fair. All right. Well, you spend some time doing that for a little while. It's not horribly long. Maybe 10, 15 minutes. That you are alone. Um, until eventually you hear a kind of muffled but heavy knocking at your door.
Uh-huh. Uh, I'll like pause in whatever I'm doing. Like hands just sort of settled where they are and hold still
Mm-hmm.
and wait to see if they knock again.
There's a pause for a little bit, and then eventually the knock returns alongside a kind of lowered voice saying, "Esmond, uh, I was told you went back to your room. Are you there?"
Uh, he sort of deflates a little bit, but walks over to the door, pauses for a moment before putting his hand on the handle and like like a crack open,
Mm-hmm.
like so they can talk to each other.
Yeah. Maya is standing there. She's got kind of like a bandage wrapped around one of her upper forearms. Uh, got her nose a little scuffed, but she's looking down at you with clear, poorly disguised worry. But kind of gives you like a little reassuring half smile. Hey, I just wanted to check up on you.
Is she wearing her armor?
She's got like her breastplate on, but really that's it. She probably didn't have time to put on much more.
Fair, yeah. Esmond's like not looking at her face. He hasn't really looked at her face yet. He's just looking at her shoulder. Um, what did she ask? Sorry.
No, you're fine. She had said that she had come to check up on him.
Oh, right. Well, you've checked up on me. Are you alright?
Chimchar, please.
Chimchar! Chimchar!
I'm perfectly fine, and everyone else is fine too. It's. I just wanted to check on you since you seemed out of it.
Hmm. Just a bit. Just a little, really. Mostly just exhausted, tired, that sort of thing.
Do you mind if I come in for a little bit? She kind of glances back down the hall, and you can hear like occasional voices of other people getting ready to walk past to go to their own bedrooms. Just for a moment of privacy.
Yes. Yeah, of course. And step back and open the door and then close it.
She has to duck her head a couple inches to get
Yeah.
through your door frame, but it's not that bad.
The ceilings are a little bit higher. He's on the upper floor, and the ceiling, it's like an A-frame on the upper floors.
Yeah. She only takes a few steps and doesn't leave you behind. She kind of pauses to wait for you, and you can feel like the occasional brush of her tail against her ankle.
He like kind of inches away from it.
Fair.
Just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, when you're like, oh, like everything is like too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you sure that you're all right? I didn't see most of the encounter you were involved with, but I did see some of the aftermath.
Right. I not familiar with this sort of stage and coping. I guess that's what you might call it. Coping. I am probably fine. I feel like a lot of people are going to ask me if I'm fine with. I'm fine, and I think that right now I'm fine, but I don't think that what I did is fine. And as he kind of says that, like acknowledges that he did something, he sort of like just takes his eyes off of her completely and just stares at the wall and takes kind of like a step back and crosses his arms and just scowling at the wall.
Esmond, what happened was not only defense of the people here, but also self-defense. You didn't go into it looking to hurt people.
I didn't. I, Maya, I didn't, but it feels excessive.
And what would the alternative have been?
I don't know, somebody else who's. I guess I could have. The alternative would have been me, I suppose, selfishly, keeping my hands clean while the others dispatched and disposed of people who were trying to rob us and kill us, presumably. Or the other alternative would have been a non-lethal option. Sort of a catch and release. I don't know. Having the understanding and the knowledge that these people were bad individuals, that they may have terrorized many others, it doesn't help and it doesn't erase the fact that that through my head was the option and the possibility of some kind of amicable, perhaps, resolution. Because evidently, we would have been fine. Most likely. Or at least maybe we could have, I don't know, prevented some level of death? And instead I just fell into complacency. Because the thought crossed my mind, we can do this in a way that prevents these deaths, but I didn't. I didn't say anything.
You prevented other deaths, though.
Did I?
I mean, the rest of those bandits that hadn't already been killed only fled because they saw their numbers dwindling so much.
Maya.
I'm not saying that killing is the way we should handle things. But I'm saying we can't beat ourselves up over something we did in the heat of the moment to protect those we care about. I wish... Esmund, you know that I've fought before. I've had to kill before, but I wish that you could have been spared having to personally do something like that.
I'm not sure it would have made me much of a, notable figure. Local founder of nowhere settlement, never shed a drop of blood in his life. I'm not sure that's quite the legacy that I'd like people to paint of me, but
Esmond, I don't care about legacies or reputations or images people might hold. I care about you. And I want to make sure that you're not upset yourself. Because I don't care what other people think about you. I care about what you think about yourself. And that you're not beating yourself up over this.
I don't believe that I'm beating myself up, that is. I think it's more of a sort of dawning horror and realization of just mortality and death and dying and bringing death and sort of the finality of all that. And I did that to some people. And I guess you can try not to think about it, but here we are. God.
For what it counts, for what it matters, Nexus is a dangerous place. Of course you know that, but for so long, our world has been survive at all costs when it comes down to the kill or be killed. And I have hope that we can change that. But it takes work to get there. And I just can't shake the feeling that you're the first person I've ever met who I felt could truly follow through on that kind of dream.
Well, I'm trying to do right by you.
I don't care about you doing right by me. I want you to do right by yourself.
I've found that while I do value my own opinion and moral standings just fine, it's, you know, with these things, there's something you need in order to do it. You need people to believe in you, and you evidently need people who are willing to indulge you in your dreams and your fallacies and all of that. So, well, I certainly am trying to do right by myself, and I think I've done rather well. It's not me I'm doing this for, Maya. Partially it is, because I'm a conceited asshole and I like the idea of doing something amazing that people will clap and say, yes, he's done it. Congratulations, he did it. I'm also doing it because, yes, Chimchar, yes. I'm doing it because it's for you. And it's for all these people. I'm trying to do right by them because I had a silly idea and they're all going along. they're all going along with it. And it's all on my shoulders. So I can regard myself and the things that I want, doing right by myself in all of this. But in the end, it's all for you. All of you. You know, it's I feel like I'm not just one person. Well, I am just one person, but you understand my meaning. It's like having a lot of people depending on you. And I don't think that self-righteousness or self-interest goes much a long way with people who are precariously placed in positions of power, let's say. Yes, That's what I meant to say.
She's quiet for a little bit, kind of just like looking at you with this still slightly worried expression, but also like affectionate and caring. Uh, Esmond, I know it's a lot of responsibility and expectation right now, and there's a lot of what ifs and concerns. And I don't know if we'll ever fully be able to shake that sort of thing, but as long as you always know you're not alone, and not even just in a taking care of our moth sense. She kind of like moves as if she's gonna grab her hand, but kind of just waits for your own reaction to see if you're comfortable with that.
Yeah, I'll take her hand. Like she pauses, and I reach out. I finish the action.
She gives your hand a slow squeeze, kind of rubbing her thumb in circles on your palm. It's a very big thumb compared to your palm.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
You're not alone. You have a lot of people who care about you. Of course, I care about you, and Pal does, and Alice, and all these other people, but no one is going to look down on you or think you're weak or unfit for wanting to talk about things, whether that's now or in the future. We care about you, and you may not be ready to talk about some of what you're feeling right now, but you're never alone.
Yeah, I know. But I really am fine, Maya. Like, honestly, I'm. It's it's a slow road to sort of accepting, I suppose, and letting go of just who exactly I thought I was or who I was going to be. But it's the death of the death of an ideal, and death brings mourning, which I am adequately familiar with the process of.
But is it truly death of an ideal, or is it just a shifting of it?
No, it's a death. It's a death of an idealistic, sort of naive, I think, hope for myself, and sort of like those things that children sort of put themselves up to. Somehow, very surprising, I managed to hold on to it for as long as I did, to be honest. But, I'm not too bothered by it in the sense of I understand it's something I have to deal with. But, I'll probably have a good cry about it later and then be back in tip-top shape. Probably. That's what I'm going for, at least.
Well, it doesn't change who you are.
Doesn't it just a bit?
No, it doesn't.
And
maybe it changes your perception of yourself, but I don't think it changes anyone else's perception of you.
Yes, well. Maybe that says more about the world than it does about me.
No, I think it says a lot about you.
Sure. I'm alright, Maya. Believe me.
With this ideal image of yourself, though, dying, what's the new one then? What's
Well,
the
you know.
what's the path you have in your mind for yourself?
Well, Maya, our math wasn't built in a day, and I guess I'll figure it out tomorrow. Or something. Or something.
I've been wondering.
Hmm.
What is the plan? I guess you could say.
Plan.
Are you just going to slowly build up Armand forever? Is there something you want to achieve here? Something you want to spread to other places? One day when Armand is big enough, will you move on and found another place like this? I don't really know what you're hoping to do in the future.
Well, what I'm hoping for is that people will hear of Almath, and maybe they'll come here with somebody that they love. And maybe those two people who love each other will have a child with them. Maybe they've wanted to have a family but couldn't in this world that we live in. Maybe somebody who needs a home but doesn't have one will hear about Almath and they'll come here. And maybe it'll be somewhere that can feel abnormal in a place that is bursting with the normality of let's call it a volatile nature. I want to keep building this place. I don't think it'll grow beyond me in my lifetime, to be honest. You know, I want a home, Maya. That's all I've ever wanted, and that's all I've ever wanted to make. Just a nice place to live. A nice place where you could be unbothered by whatever is happening beyond the tree line. Maybe that's too close to an idea of pulling wool over your eyes, but yeah.
I get it. And I agree. I don't have big ambitions for spreading some sort of new philosophy around the world or something, or for saving as many people as we can, or something like that. I'm about here, about making a home here. And if people come, then it's their home too. want to make a place that's home to anyone who comes. That will keep anyone safe and happy.
Exactly. It's always been the plan, hasn't it?
It has, but sometimes you need a reaffirmation.
Hmm.
And it makes me happy to hear you say it. At ease.
Yeah, well, maybe in the course of our math growing, we'll get a few more idealists who want to. I don't know. I'm not saying this is spreading gospel or something, but people might leave eventually, and maybe they'll have their ideals changed, and they can bring it to some other people.
Maybe. But, Esmond, when you talk about this place being home and being safe and a shelter from outside dangers, I don't know. Just makes the future a little bit brighter. Makes me more exciting for each coming dawn.
Well, I'm glad, Maya. Whoever they're idealists, us, huh? Optimists.
I don't think there's anything wrong with being an idealist or an optimist.
Well, evidently, that's why I'm still one.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And I like you that way, so don't change.
Well, I'm not planning on it.
She gives your hand another squeeze. If you need me, you know where to come and find me.
Yes, I completely do know where to find you. Which is, I will find you at the place that you are.
The Longhouse.
The Longhouse.
For anything at all. Even
I
if you
know.
just want someone to drink some tea with and not talk.
Well, I love to talk.
Oh, I know you do, but I'm making sure you know the option is there. There's no
Sure.
pressure for you to fill the silence.
Hmm. But who else will listen to my rambling as easily as you do?
I feel like a lot of people. You're loved, Esmond. By so many.
Alright, fuck off.
She looks very much like she wants to hug you, but she doesn't want to push you right now with touch. Um, but she has that, kind of stance where her shoulders are kind of curled down towards you, has arms at the ready. If she is approached for a hug, she gonna give a hug.
He stares at her for a moment, just looks her up and down. My god, woman, you look like you're about to catch me if I jump at you. Come here. And I'll hug her.
Yeah, she wraps her arms around your back, gives you a little squeeze, and when she bends down to hug
Me
you,
up.
when she bends down to hug you, she's curled around you.
Oh.
Does he actually want to hug
No,
you?
I don't. Fuck.
It's a very good hug.
I bet.
And if lions could purr, maybe she'd purr, but lions cannot purr, so L.
It can't?
No, lions can't purr.
Damn, that sucks.
No big cats can purr except for cheetahs. That's because cheetahs don't count as big cats. Anyways. But she gives you a tight, warm hug for a while. Not like oppressively tight, but, you know, firm. For a long time. And then lets you go and kind of presses a cold nose to your forehead, little forehead kiss.
Yeah.
Get some rest, Esmond. You need it.
Oh, I'll do my very best. You as well, Maya. And I'm pretty sure you have some sort of magic that'll work on that. And he gestures at her arm.
Yes, I'm fine. Good night.
Sure.
Esmond.
Good night, Maya.
She gives your hand.
See you in the morning.
Oop, go ahead.
He says, I'll see you in the morning.
See you in the morning. She gives your hand one last squeeze and then kind of slips out the room. You can hear her trading words with whoever is passing by at the moment. And then you're alone in your room.
Mm.
Is there anything else you do with your evening before you go to bed?
I have a balcony. I have like a little small balcony
Mm-hmm.
that can fit like 2 people maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like standing, not chairs or anything, just like small. Kind of like a little like French, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That points back towards the woods. And Esmond will just sit like on the railing.
Mm-hmm.
For however long until someone like bothers him again. Is it cold?
Not really.
Okay.
There's like the
Yeah.
faintest nip when there's like a gust of wind, but it's not like cold.
Okay. And he'll just yeah, he'll just sit there until someone, you know, bugs him again. Just sort of pulling at the necklace around his neck. Yeah.
Very fair.
Can you pause the recording for 2 seconds?
What?
Can you pause the recording for 2 seconds?
Yeah. Alright, the wisdom save. Go for it.
What? Unpause his recording. Wisdom save. Oh, that's bad. I want it to be bad or good.
I don't know.
It's a 6.
6. Awesome. You breathe in the kind of faintly nippy air.
Yep.
And there's this weight to the air.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of tingle under your skin and an ache that you felt from time to time throughout your life. This kind of feeling of nostalgia that you're not really sure where it comes from. And you kind of are absorbing this feeling, this sense of nostalgia that maybe, you know, maybe it'll cause you to think of some other things by your own accord. But it's not purposely drawing that forward. it's just this sort of unidentified nostalgia. And this ache in your bones for something you can't put your finger on. And for just a moment, there's a kind of sensation to the wind. This kind of dust of sand across your cheeks. And it's much colder than before. And you just feel this intense sense of emptiness, of an empty, open expanse that's never ending. And you're alone in this dead landscape. Then you kind of come back to yourself. And you're once again alone on your balcony. That nostalgia still urging at you, but still unsure where it's coming from. And that's where we'll leave it for now.
Bruh.
Yeah.